Hey guys, Matt Guzman here, back with another video, and today's going to be another status update of Eagle Scout in only 2 years. So, if you don't already know, here's a quick overview. There's 7 scout ranks, 16 leadership positions, and 21 merit badges. So, over the scout ranks, I have 4. I have the scout rank, I have tenderfoot rank, second class, and recently I just got first class as well. And I'm working on Star, Life, and Eagle, which Eagle being my main objective. So I'm almost done with Star, but at the moment I finally got my first class. So that's 4 out of the 7 scout ranks. Alright, so for positions, there's 16 of them, and I've been Quartermaster before, I'm Patrol Leader at the moment, and I'm also a Den Chief as well. So that's 3 out of the 16 leadership positions. For badges, I've gotten swimming in winter camp, first aid in winter camp, citizenship in the world, and recently I've also gotten cycling, personal management, and chess. So that's 6 out of the 21 merit badges required that you're needed for Eagle. Now, chess isn't required, but you still need 4 more after you get the main 17. But so far, I'm working on 4 more as well. So I'm working on the Moviemaking merit badge, the Camping merit badge, the Environmental Science merit badge, and the Cooking merit badge. So I'm working on 4 more at the moment, so hopefully I can get those by summertime. Alright, so as I said before, the rank I have now is first class. It's the more specific things to do with camping, cooking, tools, navigation, nature, aquatics, first aid, fitness, citizenship, safety, and scout spirit. So I finally got that on Tuesday. Well, depending on when you're watching this, but I got it recently, so I completed it, and the hardest thing to get was probably the fitness and navigation requirements, but I'll get into those later. But I finally got first class, so now I got it. Yay! So now I'm working on Star Scout. You need to be 4 months as a first class, so hopefully by summertime I can get this. So all I need to do is 6 hours of service as a first class and 4 months in a leadership role. And as I said before, I do have the 6 merit badges, and 4 of them need to be Eagle required, which I do have 4 Eagle required. So now all I need is 6 hours of service as a first class, which shouldn't be too hard, and 4 months as a leadership role. Since I'm patrol leader, I should have that done as well. I'm have 36% of the way there, and that's in progress. So when I get done with that, there's Life Scout, and as Life Scout, you need to have 6 months as a Star Scout. You need to have 5 more merit badges, and 3 of them have to be Eagle required. 6 hours of service as a Star Scout, and 6 months as a leadership role. So I'm 11% of the way there, and that's in progress too. This time next year, I should have Life Scout. And then after Life Scout, there's the Eagle Scout. For Eagle Scout, you need 6 months as a Life Scout, 21 merit badges, 13 Eagle required, 6 months as a leadership role, and the Eagle Scout Service Project. And that's probably the hardest to do, but I'm not worrying about that at the moment because I'm not even Star Scout yet. So Eagle Scout, and I'm 18% of the way there, and that's my main goal for this. Alright, so let me talk a little bit about my badges. So personal management is one of the longer ones because it needs 13 weeks of tracking what you spend and what you don't spend. So that took a while, and I just finished that like 3 days ago. All I need to do is get with my counselor now and like describe and like do the stuff that says like discuss or describe, but I basically have it all done. So that's 100%. I just need to get that with my counselor, and then I get the merit badge officially. For cycling, that took a while because you need to do all sorts of different rides, and I actually covered how to get the cycling merit badge, so please check that out as well, link in the description. Anyway, the most challenging part of this was probably getting the 22 miler, because, I mean, it's freaking 22 miles. It took a long time. And I got that 100% completed, and I have the cycling merit badge now. Alright, next is chess. Chess was fairly simple since I already knew how to play it. I just needed to look up like very specific things, and I also did a video on this as well, so check that out as well, how to get the chess merit badge. The link is also in the description. So I got that 100% complete, and I have the chess merit badge now. Next up, we got camping. So I'm only 68% of the way there, but it's not that hard since, I mean, I go on campouts like once a month. The most challenging part was probably getting the 20 nights, because you need to have 20 total nights that you've camped, but I have like 22 now, so I'm almost done. I just need to do a few more things while like discussing with your counselor, and then I can have that finished. So that's in progress. I'm also working on environmental science, and I'm 0% of the way there, only because I'm actually going to a merit badge university, and they're gonna teach me all the stuff there. And they said that anything that they don't cover, they've already told us what to do, like a 100-word essay off like an environmental issue, which I've already done as well. So all I need to do is go to the merit badge university, and they'll have environmental science. So that's in progress as well. And next up, we got movie making. So, I mean, as you can tell, it's probably going to be an easy badge, even though I have 0%. But, I mean, I edit videos all the time. I post once a week on my main channel and once a week on this channel. And I also do a lot of home movies. So that's in progress as well. And hopefully I can get that soon because it should be fairly simple for me. Alright, so as I mentioned before, first class I had some challenges with it. First of all, navigation. For navigation, you need to have 1 mile of an orienteering course, and when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's not that hard, I just have to do 1 mile. But then the rest of it also says that you need to have, like, measuring the height or distance of things like a trees or a pole, and you also need to do it, like, with a map or something like that, and you can't just, like, plot it on Google Maps and go like, oh, I just need to go from here to here, and that's it. No, no, no. It's orienteering. You need to find your way around places. Whoever's working with you, like your scoutmaster or like an older scout, basically they give you points and you need to walk there yourself using a map or and a compass, and you need to like measure the height or distance of specified objects. And also fitness as well. Fitness was hard just because you need to keep track of it. 5 days of the 7 in a week, you need to have 30 minutes of those 5 days. And it was just hard trying to keep track of it, especially if you have a busy schedule. I mean, I don't, but if you do have a busy schedule, it's hard to like fit that in. Now, you can do some things, like if you miss a day, you can do like 1 hour on one day to like double the time. But once again, it's just hard to keep track of it all because you also need to list exactly what you do. So some people, they have a gym class, so they usually just write down what they did in gym, which that's what my brother did. But sadly, I do not have a gym class, so I actually had to go outside my own time. Outdoors. But yeah, for first class, navigation and fitness is probably the most challenging. And just to help you guys out, I'm also going to cover how to get that one orienteering requirement. So here we go. First class 4A. Using a mapping compass, complete an orienteering course that covers at least 1 mile and requires measuring the height and or width of designating items, like a tree, canyons, ditch, etc.
So go north, and you're going to go 100 yards.
Before orienteering, you may want to find your pace. To do this, you have to have a length of 100 feet and walk at your normal pace towards it. As you're doing it, silently count in your head how many times you step. Once you reach the 100 feet, the last step you make is how many steps you make in 100 feet. So then you can measure out distances just by how many times you walk. Using a map and compass, my instructor told me to go 100 yards. Now, because of my pace test, I knew that every 40 steps I took would be 100 feet. Now, I also know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard, so that means 40 steps times 3 is 120 steps. So using my compass, I headed north and counted silently in my head 120. So, north is this way. After reaching my destination, using a ruler and the map's legend of how many 100 feet were, I drew a straight line from where I started and where I ended from my first destination. And usually on a map, north is always facing up, so that was pretty easy to map out.
I'm sorry, east. I'm going to go due east.
How long?
We're going to go 900 feet. So you point your compass towards north.
Okay.
And line it up.
Alright, so it's this way. Alright.
Okay.
My instructor then told me to go east 900 feet. Now before I did 300 feet and it was 120 steps. So that means I just have to multiply that by 3 again, which is 360. So at my normal pace, I headed east 360 steps, therefore reaching my next destination. So since the light levels were starting to get low, we decided to use a phone for the compass, and also because the compass I was using was not an actual orienteering compass, and not because it was more easy, but because it's more efficient since it's starting to get dark. The requirement also says to measure the height of designated items like a tree or a pole. In this case, I measured the pole using what's known as the felling method. My instructor's height is 5'10", which means 70 inches. So what I do is I hold a ruler and put my thumb to where the top of the ruler is at his head, and where the tip of my thumb is at the bottom of his feet. Then I continue to move it up, matching it up with the pole until I reach the top of the pole. Now, however many times that distance between the ruler goes up on the pole, that's how many times I multiply his height by. So in my case, his height was 4.5 times. So that means 70 times 4.5 would be the pole's height in inches. Also remember to make recordings of what you did, like how many steps you took, what the distance was, and what direction it was in. Usually people use degrees as well, so like north would be 0 degrees, east would be 90 degrees, south would be 180 degrees. So it's useful to write all that stuff down so you're able to keep track of it once you're getting the requirement done. Make sure that the measurements you did were mapped out correctly, and that you did your math right when finding the steps to feet conversion. Also make sure that the distances you walked were correct as well. At each location, write down a landmark that you can use to reference to later. Yeah. And that would have been the same thing here, 350 feet, 140 steps, and that'd be the pavilion. Alright, thank you for watching my status update on an Eagle Scout in only 2 years. Be sure to check out my other videos that I've done on my channel, and be on the lookout for any other tutorial videos that I have in the future on how to get certain ranks and requirements. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!